today we're going to make some keto Spanish rice, and in place of the rice we're going to use cauliflower. Cauliflower that's been put in your food processor and riced is what they call it, cauliflower rice. And so I don't know if riced is the correct word, but I'm going to make it up and we're going to use riced cauliflower. We're also going to need an oil to fry it in. And so depending on what you like best, you can use olive oil, vegetable oil, you can use lard, coconut oil, whatever you like best. I personally usually go with the vegetable oil. You're going to need 2 whole cloves of garlic crushed, about a 1/4 cup of chopped onion, about 1/2 a can of tomato sauce, and a pinch or 2 of comino, or cumin. Some people know it as cumin. I personally am going for the whole comino right now because it's a phase I'm in. Sometimes I like the ground comino, sometimes I like the whole. Right now I'm in the whole phase, so we're going to use whole comino, but if you want, you can use the ground. And it's a couple pinches depending on what you like. You can also leave it out because I know some people don't like the flavor. We're also going to need salt and pepper to taste, and chicken broth. I usually go for the canned chicken broth, but I didn't realize I was out, so instead I'm going to make my own chicken broth with the bouillon, and so that's okay to do too. So let's get started. Okay, to start off with, I got my pan and I put in about 2 tablespoons of my cooking oil. That was my choice, was to use the cooking oil. Over medium heat, I'm sauteing the onion, the chopped onion. And once it starts to get a little translucent, I'm going to go ahead and add my cauliflower. Sorry, I forget. I need to show what I'm doing towards the camera. The cauliflower is going to soak up a lot of the oil, but it still will brown it. We're trying to brown the cauliflower a little bit. It doesn't do the same as rice, but I like to cook it a little bit more to soften it. Oh, beforehand, I did get my riced cauliflower and I put it in the microwave. It's 2 cups. I put it in the microwave and zapped it for about 3 minutes because cauliflower, it takes a long time for it to get tender. So I zap it a little bit in the microwave and then I put it in the pan and fry it up for a little bit. So I've got my cauliflower and my chopped onion in there. Piece of the cauliflower. And just FYI, this is the exact way that you make Spanish rice when you're using your rice. You repeat the same steps. You're only using rice instead of the cauliflower. Okay, yeah, it's starting to brown a little bit. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add the garlic. And I'm going to go ahead and just let that cook, incorporate it into the cauliflower for a little bit. You'll start to smell everything. It smells so good. Okay, once we do that, we're going to go ahead and add about our 1/2 a can of tomato sauce. And it's the small can, it's not the big can. It is the 8-ounce can, so you're going to add about 4 ounces. And immediately after that, you're going to add your chicken broth. The brown specks that you see in here are from the onions that have browned. One thing I've noticed is that it will take a while to simmer this for the cauliflower to become tender enough. So this part is what takes the longest. Everything up until now goes pretty fast, but this takes the longest. I'm going to lower my heat to a medium low. I'm going to add a couple pinches of my comino, my black pepper, and a little more pepper came out than I wanted, but I like pepper, so this is all to taste. The salt, the pepper, and the comino is to taste. And what I do is once I've got it all mixed up, I will get a spoon and I will taste the liquid. That way I know if I need to add more salt or pepper. And that tastes perfect. So now that I've got all of my ingredients in, I'm going to go ahead. You see it starting to simmer. I'm going to put the lid on it. And I'm going to lower the heat now to low. And I'm going to let it simmer and check on it about every 5 minutes to see if it needs more water or broth, depending on what you like. So this is what it's starting to look like. It really does look similar to Spanish rice. So the liquid is starting to evaporate. It's definitely tender enough, but I don't like it so soupy, so I'm just going to leave the lid off and let the liquid evaporate until it's a consistency that I like, and then it'll be ready. So we'll come back in a few minutes and check on it. So it's been about 20 minutes, and as you can see, almost all of the liquid has evaporated, and this is what we're left with. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to turn off the fire, and I'm going to let it sit and let the cauliflower absorb some of the residual liquid, and then it'll be ready to serve.